Is there anybody out there? Grand Rising. Today is a new day to start again. It is 10/2/2024. Is anybody else waking up really early in the morning and not being able to go back to sleep? That has been something that's been going on now for really since, I don't know, it's been going on for a long time, but definitely since I saw somebody else talk about this, and they said it was since the lunar eclipse that we had. And I think it's pretty similar for me. Like I've been, I get up at like 1 a.m. or sometimes 12:30 for the last 10, 15 days. And sometimes I'll try to go back to sleep for another couple hours, but that really hasn't worked very well. So I've just been getting up most of the time. What I've been doing is going to bed much earlier. That's been kind of how I've adapted to it. So I get off work and then I come home and I eat dinner and I basically go to sleep. So then I'm getting that amount of sleep, and then sometimes I'll go to sleep a little bit after I have gotten everything ready for work. So it's just been something I've been dealing with. So that's why I'm doing a video now, is I might as well get it out of the way. I have a day off today, so I'm going to try to enjoy my day off. So that's what I've been doing, is adjusting life to live. Don't waste time. Don't waste money. And boys, don't get caught watching the paint dry. I'm trying to do impressions now. That's from the movie Hoosiers. That's one of those tingle moments that really resonate with me. If you're not familiar with the movie, then you don't even really understand what that part is. But there's a guy that's trying to redeem himself after, self-destructing his life. And he's got a key moment where he stands up for his son. I wasn't going to talk about this. I fought back my tear there for a second. I was starting to well up because it was a really touching moment. But my point of this all was to talk about how, like, that moment means nothing if you don't have build up to it. Those moments don't just happen. You have to put the effort in. And so I think that's really important to remember and to take away, is how much effort goes into those types of tingles. And that's what we really aspire for, but you can't just manufacture those tingles. You have to work for them. One of my all-time favorite scenes of any movie was Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino. There is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit. There is no prosthetic for that. That's not Al Pacino-esque, but that's me doing that moment. I thought that was another great moment in the movie realm, from where I've really gotten a lot of how I think. And as you start to break it down, I talked yesterday about how I can't even watch movies anymore, but it is important to realize that that's where a lot of my imagery came from. I mean, and I've talked before about this. Now there is so much information. There's so many different places that you can direct your attention into. But back then, the media outlets for people was a much smaller stream. So more people were putting attention into one spot. So there was a lot of power in a lot of these moments in cinematic history for us, this generation that's in my generation. I grew up on movies and movie theaters and spending time with your family, doing things like that. There are resonant moments that had major impact on society, because so many people are directed in one direct medium at a time. And so that's what made it so powerful. It's so much more watered down now because there's so many different places. Like, if a movie comes out now, the amount of people that have seen that movie is much smaller compared to what it was. I went way too far into this. This is pretty logical stuff. But so I've really been working on where I'm paying my attention. I've been trying to stay out of my cell phone. I'm not paying my attention into network television or the internet. Free love was never a good idea. Love is the most expensive thing you can give. When you give love, you give your life. Why are the best ideas the worst ideas? My favorite opening line of any book I've ever read was, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Your context, your framework is your reality. You control your focus. You control your intent. When you breathe into your temple and out into the world with your breath and thought, you are interacting with everything all at once. When you direct all of that into your cell, you are giving it away. You're only going to be giving your attention to things that you are aware of. If you're not aware, you are blind to it. I'm trying not to go off script. There is power in our focus. Your focus, my focus, right now. Have you seen a purple buffalo? This has been a thing for me for some reason. I don't know why, but I've had this. I actually put it into a poem in college one time, which I got high acclaim from my professor. And one of the lines in it was purple buffalo. And I think some color of giraffe. It was a weird line, but I don't know why, but purple buffalo has been a thing for me. And so I actually looked it up to try to figure out. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if in our realm, if anyone has ever made a purple buffalo. I tried to find a picture of one, and there isn't. There's like a restaurant, I think, and a website having to do with purple buffaloes. But I don't know why, but purple buffalo has been a thing for me. During COVID, do you remember the local news coverage? Wasn't it weird with all the death counts? It's like everybody is walking around now pretending that 2020 didn't happen. That's really strange for me, because we don't even really talk about things like that. And if you do bring something like that up, it seems like, it's just such a strange cultural thing. I've heard it called the COVID hangover. So I feel like there's something there. I really don't understand how grown adults can enthusiastically watch clowns at a circus and pretend that the seats that they bought with their admission tickets will be worth anything after the paint is washed away and the tents collapse to the ground. People can be great. Every person has greatness in them. If you look for greatness, you will see greatness. I choose to see greatness, focus on greatness, and pay my attention to greatness. So that's what I got. This is a long video. Do great. Be great. Have a great day.